Right, am I live? Hopefully I'm live. We'll see how this goes. Let me just go ahead and share this on my Twitter, and maybe we can get a few people in here today. I have uploaded several videos today. Well, not really. I'm uploading one right now, and I did one earlier, so we'll see how that goes. Let me see if I can get anyone to join in the chat tonight, and then, okay, new easier moderation, press Alt key plus pause to chat, then go to mess. Okay, God, I don't know what any of that means. We'll just click live chat on everybody. Let's see if I can fix the webcam up here a little bit. Yeah, here we go. Hold on, there you go. Okay, that's not working. All right, you have to excuse me over here. Let's see. See if I can fix this really quick. Yeah. There we go. That looks a little better. Just a tad bit, I'm hoping. We'll see how that goes. All right, we got one person here. So Tuesday Tech Talk from B Tech Reviews here, guys. If you guys are just joining in, thanks for joining in. This is Mike again from B Tech Reviews. If you have not joined in on my YouTube channel before, this is just me doing a random live stream, basically just talking about current tech or whatever's going on in the tech media. And recently, of course, we had Google I/O, and the one thing that I wanted to discuss on Google I/O was, of course, the Google Pixel 3a, which the 3a is obviously more of a mid-range device. So if you guys are just joining in, please give a like, and we'll go ahead and just hit to chit-chatting. Hopefully I got somebody joining in here. Hopefully Mr. Beast that wants to in and send me $10,000. That would make my day. It would definitely make my day. Mr. Beast, I'm calling you out, man. So join in my thing over here. But either way, okay, so going back to Google I/O, there was a lot of different things that they were talking about as far as like software optimization when it came to Android Q's new thing. What's up, Mikey Tech Reviews? How's it going, bud? I'm just here live streaming. Hopefully we can get a good chat going tonight, just for a little bit at least. I was off today, decided to make a few YouTube videos. If you were checking out my channel earlier, you'll saw that I posted a video up on the Moto G6, and that it's on sale right now for $129, the 32 gigabyte variant, and the 64 gigabyte variant cost about $20 or $30 more at $159. But not much, man. Just here again. I was off today, so I decided to make a video just to, hopefully continue to grow my audience here and see if any of my new subs would like to join in. If not, that's cool also. I'm still here chit-chatting with you, Mikey Tech. So but not much, man. Again, I'm just here giving my thoughts and opinion on the Google Pixel 3a, and my thoughts on it are, if Google's gonna do it, just do it. I don't think they should have went with the name the Google Pixel 3a. I think they should have maybe given it a different name as far as the actual device goes, because yes, if you think about it, it is more of a mid-range device than a flagship. So you're basically modeling it after your flagship, which is basically double the money or double the expense of what it costs. So if you guys are familiar with the Google Pixel 3 or the 3 XL, you know that the price points on those are basically almost double of what you're getting with the Pixel 3a. So I think that it's very bold, I guess, that finally, first of all, not just the fact that those devices came out, but now other carriers are getting the devices, just like Mikey Tech Review says over here. So T-Mobile and Sprint are now going to be selling the 3A and the 3A XL, and that's going to be big, because that's one of the reasons why wasn't selling well to begin with, is because it was basically branded only on Verizon. So just like when iPhone came out, it was only AT&T exclusive. You could only get iPhone on that specific carrier. So now, again, you can get the Pixel 3, the 3 XL, and the Pixel 3 XLA, and the regular 3 XLA or whatever, or the 3. Okay, there's just the Pixel 3a. Excuse me. Okay. Again, the name is just throwing me off here. But now you can get those on different carriers. So that's expecting to, of course, hopefully increase the sales on Google's part, because I think that, they obviously they had a big following when it came to the Nexus devices, and they made a lot of money selling unlocked devices on their website when Nexus was around. But if you think about it, the Nexus price points were so much cheaper. Okay, so like for instance, like I remember buying the Google Nexus 4 and Nexus 5 for under like I believe $300 or $400. So those were really relatively cheap devices. Okay, what's up? Hold on, let me know if you're still there, Mikey Tech. I feel like I'm chit chatting with myself here. If no one joins in after about 10-15 minutes, though, I'm thinking about just dropping the live stream. By the way, Mikey Tech, follow me on my Instagram handle. I'm gonna type it here. So my new Instagram handle for BTech Reviews is BTech_reviews. So that is my new Instagram handle for my YouTube channel. So if you, that is going to be my Instagram dedicated to just this YouTube channel. So anytime I'm reviewing a phone or something like that, I want you to just keep an eye out on pictures and maybe some video that I'm posting up. Mikey Tech says most people would prefer the unlocked version of the Google Pixel phones because there's no downtime to them. Exactly, Mikey Tech. So, you know, the great thing about the Nexus devices is that's why people bought them is, first of all, you bought them unlocked, you can take them to any carrier. There was really no restrictions as far as that goes. So basically, like what you get with like the Motorola G series is basically like the new version of the Pixel and how. And by the way, I am enjoying my Motorola G7. By the way, this phone is a beast. By the way, and I'm just very impressed on how this phone performs. It's basically reminding me of how fluid an Android device should be. So, I mean, the only really comparable device I can really compare this to is probably like the Nexus 5 or the 5X is when I had those devices, because those were very fluid Android devices. So I'm very impressed with this device so far. Hopefully I can get a video going up by this Friday. I'm gonna probably I'm gonna mess around with it a few more days, try to get more info, and then hopefully we'll see how that goes. But yeah, definitely, I'm interested to see how good the Google Pixel 3a and the 3a XL perform, considering its price point. You know, the fact that it doesn't have things like, you know, wireless charging, and the build of the phone is a lot cheaper. I feel like Google probably could have invested more, at least into the build quality, or adding some sort of feature. I feel like that the only thing that's trying to sell that phone is just the actual camera. So we know how great the camera is on the Google Pixel 3. Even the Google Pixel 2 still has a great camera. So if you guys are in the market of buying like a Google Pixel 2, and you can find one like whether it be new or refurbished, people really enjoyed that phone more over the Pixel 3, which, you know, again, you know, I take it with a grain of salt. It's really user preference. You know what I mean? Obviously, the phone has probably the best camera that you can buy in a smartphone, but at the same time, like, how important is that to some people? You know what I mean? Like me, I would rather have better performance over like being able to take pictures, basically. You know what I mean? So like, I mean, and don't get me wrong, like I like to take video and pictures with my phone, you know. So I mean, my daily driver is my iPhone 10, etc. like that. I still am using my iPhone 10, so my iPhone 10 is my daily driver. Again, this is my go-to device for everything, right? But you know, I am considering switching back to Android, man, and just, you know, selling my iPhone 10, seeing what I can get for it, obviously, right? And then, you know, just going back to plain Jane Android and just using Android for the most part. You know what I mean? I've been very happy with how the Motorola G7 has been performing. So I mean, obviously, it's got a very good looking screen. I'm very interested to see how I'm going to do a phone battle with this and the if I can find it. What did I even do with it? The new Mobile G3 Plus. I had the phone over here. I don't know where it went. Hold on, let me see. Maybe I lost it. Maybe not. Okay, I don't know what I did with that phone. Okay, yeah, I think it fell into my couch cushions. That's okay. I'll look for it later. I don't even know what I did with my G3 Plus. I think I put it somewhere. I just can't find it right now. But that's okay. So, you know, I was doing like a little bit of comparison earlier with my new Mobile G3 Plus with my again with my Moto G7, and I ran benchmarks. And the benchmark on the Moto G7 obviously won. It's a little bit of a newer phone. Obviously, it has a better chipset in it. Okay, now I'm worried. Like, did I use the phone? Hold on, give me 1 second. Sorry, dog. See if I can find it. Penny for your thought. Nope. Okay. Sorry, Sophia. You can stay there, chica. Okay, so I might have either dropped it or I might have lost it. I don't know. Okay. I'm kind of freaking out that I cannot find my new mobile G3 Plus, but I know it's here somewhere. Okay, I have it over here. Okay, I found it. Super stupid, I know. Okay, so Mikey Tech says, are you still using your iPhone? Yes, I am still using my iPhone. Google Pixel phones have some of the best cameras. They do, man. I mean, that's the selling point of that device. But to me, it kind of goes back to when the Nexus devices were around, they really focused more on performance than anything, and I kind of like that they didn't use like having the best camera as their gimmick, basically. But at the same time, their cameras weren't bad. I mean, they had really good, cameras at the time when they were selling those devices. So for me, it's like, okay, if I'm going to spend $400 on the phone, like it better be a well-rounded phone. And a lot of the things that people are complaining about with this phone is the actual build. So if you guys look at the front-facing version of the phone, the bezels on it are just huge and chunky. So in 2019, where front-facing bezels are kind of a thing of the past now, Google decides to slap them back onto their phones. And what I don't understand is, if you're going to price a phone that, like, for instance, this phone, Moto G7, $299, they were able to get the phone for, if you can see here, the bezels are not very big. If you look at the top bezel, there really is nothing on top. Just on the bottom, there's a very, very bit of a small chin. So look at the chin on that compared to the Google Pixel 3a, and you're just like wondering, like, who's in charge of the design on these phones? Like, the reason why iPhones are so appealing, even the cheap iPhones, are because the design, basically replicates what, or it's replicating, the phone that already is a flagship. So like if you look at the iPhone XR, you're seeing that it's replicating the iPhone XS or the XS Max. So if you look at those, obviously the XR is a very good buy, because even though you're getting lesser specs when it comes to the screen and whatever else, you still have a good camera on that phone. You still have a very good battery, and again, the performance is always going to be there because it's an iPhone, right? But if you go down to the Google Pixel 3a or the 3a XL, first of all, they obviously cut the costs, but they have to cut the costs somewhere. So build quality, just from watching Lou's video on Unbox Therapy, he was saying right off the bat that the build quality is very noticeable, that you can tell that it's made out of cheap materials, and that they sacrificed a few things like the screen, for instance. So like why? Like for me, why did they do that? Like if you're gonna come out with a budget or mid-range device, make it at least more appealing to the masses. You know what I mean? Like that's just me. You know what I mean? Again, I would rather buy the Moto G7, which again has a very, very good design. Fingerprints in the back. Obviously, you got that dual camera, obviously, as well. Google Pixel still with the single sensor, which again, I'm not against the single sensor or anything like that, but at the same time, of course, their camera is going to be better than the Motorola G7. Check out my dog in the background, by the way. But for the most part, it's just really dumb, So I don't know what to. I can only comment so much on that, I guess. And help me out here, Mikey Tech, if you want to bounce back and ask me something else. So far, watching the Google I/O event, mostly the only thing I really cared about is the actual phone, but they did show some cool software integration stuff when it came to actual, the new version of Android that's coming out later on this year, and like little key features. So first of all, they talked about a dark mode, and when I'm talking about dark mode, I'm talking about like that you can customize the display over here on your phone. So what they mean by dark mode is, like, let's say for instance, like this portion over here, you can just obviously change it dark. So some phones already have that, by the way. Some Android phones already have this without it being an Android Q or whatever like that. So the Motorola G7, for instance, if you guys are watching this sneak peek right for the review video, but it does have a dark mode. I did change that, but I can actually always go back and change that under the display preferences, and I'll show you guys. So a dark mode, even though you have it on dark mode, when you go to the settings, you're still going to get it in white, by the way. So, you know, I kind of am a fan of that, and I'm kind of not, because like dark mode for this phone only really just darkens the, you know, the portion on the bottom and then your portion on top. So and of course if you swipe this up, it's going to be dark instead of like a white color. So I kind of like that, but at the same time, you know, again, if you're going to have a dark mode, it needs to be all the way around. So like, again, for instance, if I were to bring this up, you're only going to get that. So and again, I don't want to give away too much on this specific device, but I'm really enjoying the Moto G7 so far. Again, there are a few things that this phone is lacking that the Moto G6 did have, which I will discuss in the videos. So if you guys are looking forward to seeing a Moto G7 review, just keep an eye out in a few days. Again, I'm going to use this phone for a few more days, and hopefully I can produce the video and upload it on Friday. Probably by Friday night, I'll probably get it done. Let's see, we got one person that joined in. If you're just joining in, say hey. If not, then, you know, we'll see. I'm just going to be talking to myself for a very long time. If you're just joining in, also please follow me on Instagram. I made an Instagram handle for this specific YouTube channel. So again, it's going to be at btech_reviews. So Google Pi, is there a phone that you are looking forward to? I mean, if there's a phone that I'm going to be looking forward to right now, no. I mean, because most of this year's flagships are coming out already. So I mean, if anything, maybe the only thing that I'm interested in seeing if this phone does come out is the LG Stylo 5, man. But right now, you know, I'm rocking it with the LG G7, which this is the international version, and again, I'm really kind of enjoying this specific device right now. So if you guys are wondering like what phone I'm holding in my hand, it's the LG G7. So I'm super impressed by this phone at the price point. And it's basically going to be like a very big main competitor of the Google Pixel 3a. So I was just, Google Pi, if you're still there, I was actually just talking about the Google Pixel 3a and the 3a XL, and, you know, the pros and the cons of it basically. So pros obviously are it's going to have, you know, a good camera. We already know this, whether it be rear or front facing camera. And we know that the camera is going to be a beast in low light. But at the end of the day, like, if you're gonna sell a phone for $400, like, what other great features is the phone gonna have? You know what I mean? Again, the 3a XL is gonna be priced at $479, right under $500. So I mean, is it worth getting the extra? You know, is it worth paying the extra? I guess $80 for this much more screen space, or whatever? I mean, to me, it's like, eh. Why do the more popular tech reviewers not talk about the LG Stylo lineup? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess a lot of the more popular YouTubers are, you know, they focus more on flagship devices, and the reason why they focus on flagship devices is because that's what, you know, the big companies want them to focus on, because that's what's going to make them the most money, right? For me, you know, I personally have never tested any of the LG Stylo phones. If I can get my hand on an LG Stylo 4 for cheap, I definitely would do it. You know what I mean? But right now, at the moment, you know, again, since I bought the LG, or not the LG, but I bought the Moto G7, I'm going to be working on this phone for a little bit. So, I mean, if you haven't followed my YouTube channel, Google Pi, please keep an eye out, because I will be posting a video on that within the next couple of days. So if you haven't checked out the unboxing video, also I have an unboxing video on that as well. So please check that out when you get the chance. Let's see. But again, if this is your first time joining in on my YouTube channel, thanks for joining in, man. I appreciate it. I am a small tech tuber, or whatever you want to call it, I guess. Small tech tuber. Right now, currently sitting at 8,300 subs. So I'm very happy to be where I'm at. Over the past couple of years, you know, I think my YouTube channel is growing. It's not growing at the rate I want it to be growing at, but it's still growing. So the fact that I'm, you know, still continuing to gain a following, even though no one really watches my videos. Now, people watch my videos, I mean, for the most part, if you're not familiar with my YouTube channel. But again, thank you for joining in on the chat. Let me see. I'm going to join in on my own chat. Whoa. Let me see. I'm going to join in. Whoa, okay, hold on. I don't want to get double the sound here. I just want to make sure that my thing is working correctly here, because I don't know exactly. Okay, in your opinion, what is the biggest flop when it comes to tech this year? That is a good question. Thanks for the question, by the way. Okay, hold on. I'm going to respond back by typing that out just to make sure. Like my own video, please. Hey, if you're watching this video, please give it a thumbs up, man. But anyway, obviously the biggest flop so far of the year is probably the Samsung Galaxy Fold, man. I mean, I think that is going to be the video or the phone that is going to be the biggest disappointment as of now. So if you think about it, the Galaxy Fold is basically what the Note 7 was when it came out a few years ago, when, you know, the Note 7 was basically supposed to be like the best phone that year, and people were super hyped up about it. Had a beautiful design, you know, people knew how good the phone ran, and then for it to just blow up like that, literally blow up, right? It disappointed a lot of people. So for the most part, you know, I'm just like, wow, like, you know, the Galaxy Fold. Luckily, you know, they decided not to sell that phone before, you know, I guess, and they decided to send it out to people before actually putting it up on sale. So that's good that the reviewers got to know firsthand just how that Perform was going to handle and what was going on with that phone before it actually flopped, literally. You know, a lot of problems out of the gate for a lot of tech reviewers. So, I mean, pretty interesting to see how that worked out for them, I guess. I mean, how long it's going to take for them to reprise another version of that phone. I think it's going to be a while. Hopefully we'll see how that goes. But the other probably big flop of 2019 probably has to be the LG G8, man, or the G8 Thin Q. A lot of people are not really responding well to that phone. So Milky Bar Kid, hey buddy, I'm looking forward to the new improved Gboard. Oh yeah, I mean, now that you're talking about the Gboard, I mean, I love the Gboard. I mean, that's basically the only. I even use the Gboard on my iPhone, by the way. So now that you're talking about that, thanks for joining in, Milky Bar Kid, which is an interesting username. Definitely interested to see what the new features are. I'm interested to see the new features on Google Maps also. I mean, I know that you can actually like take pictures in Maps, and or even in the Google search, if you take a picture like of a menu at a restaurant that you're in, it highlights like the I guess the best entrees of that menu, which is pretty crazy. So let's see. I've been noticing that a lot of Apple's long-term fans have been switching to the Samsung S10. What are your thoughts on people switching? I mean, for the most part, you know, I was actually a diehard Android user when I first started this tech channel. So for me, I've actually been using iOS for the better part of the last 3 years. So my daily driver is an iPhone 10, man. So I mean, I love my iPhone. What I love about iPhones opposed to Androids is that they just work, and they work really well. Okay, so everything when it comes to moving from app to app, the fluidity of the device, they're just amazing. They do what they're supposed to do, and you know, I haven't had any issues. You know what I mean? As far as people switching from iOS to Android, it's not a surprise. It really just depends on the person, obviously. For me, like, the reason why I switched to iPhone is because, you know, I need a device that works well all the time, whether it be camera or whatever else. But again, people that are diehard iOS fanboys or iPhone fanboys, you know, I get it. You know, some people just get really tired of the UI and the interface, and they want to try something different. You know what I mean? They want something with maybe a better build quality, or they want something that, you know, looks nicer in the hand. I mean, people know iPhone. People that have iPhones or have used iPhones in the past know that they're going to work no matter what they do. But at the same time, you know, again, these phones can get boring as well. For me, as far as my iPhone goes, I use it because I have a MacBook Pro, so it's easy for me to, you know, airdrop video and pictures from that to here if I want to do any video editing, etc., like that. But again, you know, the S10 or the Galaxy S line has gotten better and better. You know, I wouldn't say the last Galaxy S phone I owned was the Galaxy S7, and that was a big disappointment to me, to be honest. But you know, I'm hearing a lot of good things about the S10 and the S10e, which is their mid-range device. So I know the S10e has impressed a lot of people. So again, I personally haven't used a Samsung Galaxy phone in a while. But at the same time, you know, I can't bash too hard on them because, you know, they are basically like the most popular Android devices out there that have been in the market for years. So, and I don't think the Galaxy phones probably would be as popular without the name. Also, by the way, so if Samsung never branded their phones Galaxy, because I thought back then Galaxy was a good name for a phone, it probably would not have done as well. So. Let's see. Mikey Tech Review retracted I guess a comment. Let's see. Milky Bird Kid said, I've been with Apple until January this year when I got the Huawei P20 Pro, and I'm happy with this device now. Even when jailbreaking my iOS, I wasn't happy. So I don't even know if jailbreaking is such a thing. The Huawei phones have gotten better from what I've been seeing in the tech reviews. I know that they have the P30 Pro now, or I'm not sure if the P30 Pro is out yet. But again, the photos and videos on those phones are just continuing to get better and better. But for me, you know, it's all about user experience, man. And so far, like the reason why I've stuck with iOS is because of the user experience. I have not had issues with my iPhone 10 since I bought it. So. Mikey Tech Review says, I am a fan of the show Gas Monkey Garage, and if I lived in Texas, I would take the trip to Fort Worth and try to meet the guys from the TV show and Richard Rawlings. I've never seen or heard of that show, man, but I'm actually into cars and vehicles. I mean, you guys, if you can follow my YouTube channel, you'll see that I reviewed my current vehicle, which is the 2019 Hyundai Veloster, right? Let's see. A good Samsung mid-range phone is the Samsung Galaxy A6. I currently have that phone, and I got it when it first came out, but don't use it because I have the new Mobile G3 Plus. Oh, well, that's good, man. I mean, the G3 Plus is a good phone. Again, I have mine over here. It's actually on a tripod set up. So, I mean, that's why I couldn't find it because I had it over here. Let's see. Milky Beard Kid says, my wife had Samsung Galaxy Beam 2. A very rare phone with built-in projector, but it's also a very slow phone. I don't think I've ever heard of that phone, man, the Galaxy Beam, but any phone that has a built-in projector, I think that's pretty interesting, I guess. I remember of a phone that did things like that back in the day, but I think after a while, people just stopped caring about stuff like that. Let's see. Mikey Tech Review says, Mike, do you remember what your first Android phone was? Yes, my first Android phone was the LG Optimus V, which was for Virgin Mobile. I think it was my first Android phone, and it had a really good build quality. It was back then when actually Android phones actually had physical buttons on the bottom. I'm not talking about capacitive buttons. I'm talking about physical buttons. Okay, so I wish I had an older phone that I can show you that has those physical buttons, but for the most part, you know, it was an okay phone. I don't even remember the camera having a flash. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But that phone had Android 2.2, I think, which is Froyo at the time. So it had a very older version of Android on it. And then after that, I got the LG Optimus Elite, which had Android 2.3, which was Android Gingerbread, I think. So, and then after that, I mean, from those older devices, I jumped from Android 2.3 to Android 4.0, so which was Ice Cream Sandwich. Let's see. Milky Beard says the Galaxy Beam was good because you could project an 80-inch TV onto any wall. Good when used with apps like Showbox and YouTube, but the phone was too slow for daily use. So, I mean, I think now in 2019, if they were to probably try to gimmick a phone like that, it would probably be more worth it now because the specs on devices in 2019 are just so much better. Even the mid-range devices are very good in 2019. So Mikey Tech Review says, my first Android phone was the Samsung Galaxy Prevail, and it was from Boost Mobile. Oh, man. I mean, I had a bunch of Galaxy phones early on. I mean, if you guys follow my YouTube channel, if you go back to my oldest videos, you'll see all of the phones that I purchased and unboxed. Most of them were prepaid devices. There were very few unlocked devices that I bought. I think once I started using the Nexus devices, that's when I started. That's when I kind of steered away from phone reviews, I guess, because those were devices that I just genuinely enjoyed using. So those are phones that I ended up keeping and just I continued to use and use. And then even the original Moto G phones, which again, this is the Moto G7. I remember having the first Motorola G phone on Boost Mobile. I think at the time it was only like $100. I think it was like $80 to $100. And even that phone was like, wow, like for what you got on that little device, it was super impressive. And I purchased the Moto G2. The Moto G2 was an okay phone. And then the Moto G3 as well. I really enjoyed using that device. I think I had that device as my daily for at least a good 6 months to a year. And that was probably at that point in time the longest I had used a Moto G device as my daily driver. The main reason, okay, Google Pie says, I like the stream. Thanks, man. I hope you're enjoying my live stream. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, man, or woman, I don't know, Google Pie, please subscribe to my channel. I'm a tech enthusiast. I'm not always posting videos on smartphones, unfortunately. Sometimes I'll just do live streams like this. And depending on how many people I can get on my live stream, we'll see. But for the most part, most of my live streams are not, they don't consist of, thank you. Okay, thanks for subscribing, by the way. So most of my live streams, again, are not, big live streams. So if you're chatting with me, you're going to get a lot of my attention right out of the gate. So, thanks for being a subscriber. So Milky Bar Kid says, the main reason I left Apple was because of the 6 Plus was in my pocket for 10 minutes during the rain and the water damaged and never turned on again. So I don't know. I remember I think the Apple iPhone 6 was not waterproof. It was only splash proof. So depending on where or how your phone got, I guess, wet or drenched. My dog just, okay, hold on. My dog just let out a nasty, you know what. Oh, God. Okay, anyways. Thanks, Milky Bar Kid. Thanks for subbing to my channel, by the way. I appreciate it. So, yeah, I think the original iPhone 6 Plus was only splash proof. I think the 6S lineup had more of a, I guess, water resistance to it. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Great. New sub here. Okay, hold on. Google Pie says, have you seen Endgame? I don't know. I don't really understand that question. Have I seen Endgame? What are you talking about? Are you talking about the phones that I'm using right now? Are you talking about have I seen and playing games in general? Or am I a gamer, if that's what you're asking? But anyway, let's see. Oh, yeah, my dog passed gas. Yeah, my dog, that's what I meant. My dog farted. Oh, okay, have I seen Endgame? Yes, I have seen Endgame, actually, and I don't know if I should talk about it to the people here unless you guys want spoilers, for instance. I know a lot of people still haven't seen that movie, but Endgame was pretty awesome. I mean, there was a lot of little plot holes that I really didn't really like about that movie, or there's just a lot of little things that I loved about the movie, but then there's a lot of things that I disliked about the movie also. So they lifted the spoiler ban, so I don't even know what's going on with spoilers or whatever. I mean, I know there's a lot of popular YouTube channels that are already talking about it. But for me, I think one thing that kind of disappointed me about that movie was Captain Marvel. I mean, they didn't really go into any of her character or story development in the movie. Her scenes were very short, by the way. So, like, basically, she just came out at the beginning of the movie. I really kind of liked how she interacted with Thor a little bit. I really wish that there was more to that. And then towards the end, she just comes back during the the battle with Thanos and his army, and it was just like, what the hell, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, yeah, she had her and the other females had their 5 minutes of on-screen time, which was pretty awesome. I think that was pretty cool that there was a point where all the females were kind of ganging up on Thanos, and it's all about girl power, etc., like that. But at the same time, like, they didn't really. I really thought that they were going to focus on her character more in this movie, considering how powerful she is. I mean, she basically took him out at the beginning. Her and Thor, at the beginning of the movie. So let's see. Google Pie says the Russo brothers, the producer, gave us the green light to talk about spoilers. Yeah, all right, great. Yeah, I mean, and it was an awesome movie. I mean, I think I enjoyed Paul Rudd's character, aka Ant-Man. I think that I'm surprised that they gave him as much on-screen time as they did, especially in that little scene with his daughter. where he comes back and it's already 5 years later, and he just finally discovers what happens. I think obviously the first half of the movie was very dark and dingy. People were depressed after what happened, and it was just a lot of surprises. There's a lot of little comical areas of the movie also, with like the Professor Hulk, or whatever you want to call him. He was interesting. He was an interesting character. A lot of people liked his character and how he was portrayed in the movie. Again, there was just a lot of little areas of focus that I wish they would have focused on more. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you're gonna get, everyone's gonna have an opinion on that movie. But for me, I think I was really disappointed that that they hyped up Captain Marvel as much as they did, and at the end you really think, hey, maybe they would have given her the Infinity Stones to do the snap at the end, but they decided to do it with Tony Stark, which obviously I guess his contract was ended with Marvel as well, so that's why they had to kill him and Captain America off. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of character development in the future movies to come. I'm really excited to see Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3, or Guardians of the Asgardians, right? Or Asgardians of the Galaxy, whatever you want to call it. I hope they do Civil War 2 like the comics. I mean, I don't know how that would work. I mean, that it could be a possibility, especially with new characters. I mean, Spider-Man is still relatively a part of the MCU. Let's see. Google Pie or Milky Bar Kid says, how difficult of a job do you think it will be for Paramount to change the look of Sonic in every scene in the upcoming movie? I mean, I don't think it's going to be hard at all. I mean, because they just have to change the character. They don't have to change the effects or anything that's happening in the movie. And I thought that was really funny how people were like, I guess, really upset about how Sonic looked in the actual trailer and whatnot. And I guess the internet exploded, and Paramount decided, hey, we're going to go back to the drawing board and we're going to change the design of how Sonic looks. And obviously, anyone who knows Sonic or knows the Sonic character was disappointed on how they made that character look. I mean, if you're going to make a character look like a character, make it look like Sonic, you know what I mean? And that basically looked like a Furby version or an Elmo version of Sonic the Hedgehog. So I thought that was interesting. I mean, I mean, and if they have to delay the movie in order for it to go back or to make it better, then why the hell not? If you guys are like movies of animated movies like Avatar, for instance, you guys already got the notification that Avatar got pushed back a little bit. So Avatar was supposed to come out next year in the fall, and it's going to come out again. Now they're going to wait. I guess now that they're going to push it another year, so it's not going to come out until 2021. Can't believe I'm saying that, 2021. I feel like I'm so old when I'm saying that, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, that thing was not Sonic. It was a blue demon sent from hell. Okay. Joe Russo wants to do a Batman movie. Well, I mean, I can't really comment on the Batman movies. I never watched any of the Batman movies with Ben Affleck, so I don't know how good or bad they are. People liked Ben Affleck as Batman. I really like Christian Bale as Batman. I think he did a great job playing Batman in all three movies. But at the same time, for me, those were the good Batman movies. You know what I mean? And I really enjoyed the Batman movies in the early '90s. Also, I mean, I enjoyed when I was gonna say not Christian Bale, but what's his face, the other guy. I don't remember his name. Okay, I guess George Clooney played Batman. I enjoyed that Batman. That was a good Batman. When they had Mr. Freeze and Jim Carrey as the Riddler and everything like that. Arnold Schwarzenegger as one of the main villains there. And, of course, Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. I thought that was a great movie. Batman and Robin, obviously, with Nicole Kidman. Or not Nicole Kidman. What's her face? It wasn't, or maybe it was Nicole Kidman. I can't even remember the actresses' names over here. But Batman and Robin, and with Batgirl also over here. Those were good movies. I mean, I really enjoyed those movies. So if they decide to make another Batman movie, I mean, I kind of like the darkness on how dark these movies can get. But I mean, it kind of takes away from the comic experience sometimes when they just make it too dark. You know what I mean? Do you play video games? If so, what one video game which is really pushing the limits of technology in your opinion? I mean, I haven't played video games. I mean, I do have a gaming channel, by the way. So if you guys follow me, you'll know that I have a gaming channel. It's called B Tech Gaming, I believe. Hold on, I think it's B Tech Gaming like this. Hold on, I might have to go look for my actual YouTube gaming channel, and I'll link you to it. I haven't been gaming recently in the past couple of months, just because I've been really lazy. But the last game that I played was actually Kingdom Hearts 3 on the PS4 and Resident Evil 2 Remake. Okay, so I really enjoyed the Resident Evil 2 Remake, although I could not get into. Hold on, let me make sure that I'm not doing something. Let me see if I can get the correct link here. It's BTech Gaming. Let me see if I can. And maybe if you want, you can go watch a few of my live streams. I'm going to post the link here for you, so you can check it out. But for the most part, I'm a fan of the old school games. I liked, I have the Xbox, I have the PS4, I have the Nintendo Switch. I was really a fan of online gaming when like Halo was big and the original Call of Duty or Modern Warfare or Black Ops games. Black Ops games were popular. I think I played like the first 3 Black Ops, and I played all of the Modern Warfare franchise games. Also, those were fun games to play online with your friends. I was more into those games. But as far as like what's pushing the limits, I mean, I don't really game anymore to give my 2 cents on it. I mean, I know Fortnite is a big thing, and I know games like PUBG are also big in the online world, and whatever else. I guess there's Apex Predator or whatever you want to call it. I know that's big also. But for the most part, I'm just not much of a gamer anymore. But I do plan on maybe getting back into it soon, hopefully. I mean, I really want to. I guess just live stream a few games. I was really into the old school Resident Evil games, so like I was live streaming Resident Evil 4 for a little bit, and I really want to replay Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. So I might do that for you guys on my gaming channel if you guys are interested in those games. So I really was into games like that. So the original Batman Arkham Asylum games, now that we're talking about that, I was into those games. So I might pop, I mean, I have them for my Xbox, so I might actually pop those into my Xbox and play them one of these days. I just really enjoyed those games. I thought they were fun. I thought, the playability of those games were fun. The graphics of those games were fun. And I do have I remember playing them on the Xbox 360, and then when they updated them and they put them on the Xbox One, I bought those versions as well. So. Mikey Tech Review says another big kids game is Roblox. My niece and nephew play that. Yeah, my nephews play Roblox also, and I know Minecraft was a big deal a couple years back also. Milky Bar Kid says, I am always amazed at how big and detailed GTA 5 is, considering it was designed for the PS3. I mean, I remember playing GTA 4 when I had it for the Xbox 360, and I really enjoyed playing that game. That was a really fun game to play. I never played GTA 5. I haven't played anything past the GTA 4 series, unfortunately. But the GTA 5, I mean, I guess maybe if it's $20 one of these days, maybe I'll buy it and give it a shot. But I mean, why? What's the point? GTA 6 will probably eventually come out. I'm still waiting for a new Halo game to come out. I don't think that we're going to see a Halo 6 for the PS or for the Xbox One. I know there's going to be a new Halo game eventually. I know it's going to be like another prequel or something like that. Mikey Tech says you should think about picking up the new Mortal Kombat 11. I have the game. I bought the collector's edition for $200. Unfortunately, I cannot afford that right now. I'm not into fighting games, to be honest. I mean, what's funny about that is I actually frequent a local arcade that is very into the fighting game community. But for me, I cannot just get into fighting games. They just have never really been. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can play them. I just don't get into them as some other people do. You know what I mean? I think back then when I was a kid, yes, Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 2 Turbo were fun, playing Tekken and whatnot. Having like game nights as far as like Super Smash Brothers was fun for me. But I never really got into them competitively, I guess. And the reason being is because I guess I just don't find them that interesting as much as I used to. So, I mean, by the way, guys, if you guys are watching and you want to send super chats my way, please do so, because I need to keep this channel alive somehow. No Life 2692. It's been a while, man. Good to see. Good to hear from you. By the way, I know it's been a while since I've seen you on my YouTube channel. By the way, I haven't really been doing live streams consistently though. So I mean, for those of you guys who are watching my live stream, thanks for watching. No Life says he's been having seizures lately. So, man, if you've been having seizures, man, I hope you've been taking care of yourself. I actually had a friend who had she had seizure issues, and unfortunately, it didn't go well for her. She unfortunately passed away from it. But I'm hoping, I'm wishing you the best on that, man. And hopefully you get better. If anything, she had what was called bacterial meningitis, and and they didn't catch it on time. And yes, they cured her from that, but it caused her, I guess, brain to swell up at certain points, and she would get seizures from it. So it was just not good. So let's see. Milky Beard says since around 2015, every time EA posts an update on Twitter, Instagram, etc., the comment section is bombarded with people asking for EA Skate 4. Even today, it's happening. Fingers crossed. I've never played any of those skateboarding games. I did play the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series games, which were fun. I think I played like the first 3 Tony Hawk Pro Skater games on the original like PlayStation and PlayStation 2. But I mean, I can't get into those games. I mean, nowadays. But if you guys are interested and you want to send me these games, I will play them on my Xbox or PS4 for you. It is what it is. Let's see. Have you seen Game of Thrones yet? Yes, I have been watching all of the new season, and it has just been amazing episode after episode. I'm really sad that the show will end in 2 more episodes. Interested to see what's going to happen, who will live, who will die. It's just going to be very intense last few episodes. But all I can say is, if I have to vote someone to be on the Iron Throne, I'm going to vote either Tyrion or Gendry to get the Iron Throne at the very end, man. We'll see how that goes. A lot of people are like hyped up about Arya Stark because she's been making like a lot of the moves in this in this new season. But at the same time, where was she in this last episode? I mean, she really wasn't a factor. Let's see. Should I keep watching? I'm on season 2. Yes, Google Pie. If you are still watching, continue watching it. It's only going to get better. If you're not already sucked into the series, I want to say just continue watching. You're gonna have those jaw-dropping moments in all of the seasons. So they're just all good. So, let's see. I currently have seizures sometimes. I have to take my medications so I don't get them often. So I mean, anyone that had to deal with stuff like that, luckily I've been very healthy my entire life. I haven't really had a lot of issues. So for those of you who have to deal with any type of sicknesses or illness, dude, I feel for you guys. And I, hopefully I'll continue to pray for y'all to just continue living your life and get better, right? But don't skip ahead. Yeah, like No Life says, do not skip ahead. If you're on season 2, stay on season 2. Try to stay away from spoilers as much as you can, even though I know that's going to be hard, especially for Game of Thrones fans. I mean, what's up, Mill Hustles? How's it going, man? How you doing, bro? Thanks for following me or liking my post on Instagram, by the way. If you guys are just tuning in, by the way, I made an Instagram for my YouTube channels. So that way you guys can follow me there. And personally, if you guys know me already, are already following me on my personal Instagram, I'll go ahead and keep you on there. But for the most part, I really want to keep my private life private, and anything that I post on my YouTube social media, you guys can follow. I have no issues with that. So again, if you guys haven't followed me on my new Instagram, it's going to be at btech_, hold on, let me see, _reviews. And any of you guys that want to throw me a super chat over here, I would be very grateful for it. I'm not sure what's going on with Google Analytics. At the beginning of May, it was not showing our earnings, by the way. So if you're a YouTuber and you know a thing or two about what's going on as far as that, please let me know. But yeah, I didn't get any. There's really no earnings for like a 3-day period. I think from May 1st to the 3rd. So, but yes, follow me on Instagram, and hopefully we can get that going. Let me just check my phone really quick as I got a message from a friend over here. How to be a man. Okay, someone just linked me a YouTube video, by the way. No, I don't want to watch this video. Hold on, I'm just gonna exit out that really quick. Thanks, Mill Hustles, for following me on Instagram. I just got the notification here on my brand new again Moto G7, which is a good phone. I know you were talking trash about it a few days ago. That's okay though. But yes, Mill Hustles just subscribed to me on my channel. So again, if you guys aren't following Mill Hustles, also follow Mill Hustles. But again, this is my new Instagram account for my Moto G series, and I'm gonna continue to post pictures and video anytime I get a device or whatever. I'm gonna post stuff on there. So let's see. Funds are low at the moment. I work as a student, but I will try to do it once a month. Okay, man. No problem. No life. I appreciate it, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know a thing or two about having low funds. So just keep being an awesome follower of mine. And if you can't do super chat, that's fine. Also, I've considered getting a Patreon, but I don't think I have a big enough following to even get any, I guess, big following on Patreon. So let's see. He found out from me. Let's see. Mill Hustles, I just found out from CV Tech, is the Straight Talk phone 6S Plus on sale on Twitter at Walmart. Oh yeah, I saw RJ Tech's video on the iPhone 6S Plus, which he was saying a lot of good things about. And to be honest, I mean, that phone in 2019 is still a really good phone to have. You know what I mean? I mean, if you want to get your hands on a cheap iPhone, and you can even find cheap iPhones on Virgin Mobile website. Also, you can get a pre-owned iPhone, I think 6S or even a 7 for like $200. So, if you guys are looking for good deals, I mean, check that out. If you guys saw the video that I posted earlier as well, I posted a video on the Moto G6 that's on sale right now on Amazon. I think it's going for about $129 for the 32 gig variant, and then it's going for $159 for the 64 gigabyte variant. So even though it's last year's Moto G phone, it's still a really good phone, by the way. I mean, if you guys want to test out that phone, check out that video. I posted the affiliate link in the description below on the video so that you guys can see. And hopefully people take advantage of the sales. I think even the Moto X4 is on sale for like $100, which is a really good deal. And if you guys follow Aloha Android or the Googly one, you'll know how good he's vouched for that phone several times. So I might actually consider getting the Moto X4 just because it's really cheap right now. But I'm gonna wait a couple weeks. I might try to sell off a few of my current phones just to maybe get another review unit. Okay, let's see. No Life says my next phone is going to be a ZT Exxon, right? The foldable phone. Oh, I mean, I know that Mill Hustles actually posted a video on that a while back, and I'm really not interested in any type of foldable phones right now. I guess I think maybe another carrier or company comes out with something that looks a little more solid looking, I might do that. But for now, I'm gonna stay away from foldable phones. If you do Patreon $1 a month, I can do that. You see, and that's the thing. Like, I don't get I know what Patreon is, but I don't know if there would be a point to having a Patreon account. You know what I mean? Let's see. Should there be a standard notch across all phones to help with the optimization? Okay. Should there be a standard notch across? Okay. What do you mean by standard notch? You mean like an iPhone notch? You mean something like that? Hey, hold on. Let me open the phone. That way it looks a little better. So you mean like a notch like this? Is that what you mean? Or a standard notch just in general? By the way, guys, I got a hit on Tinder. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Do I get any likes over here? Festival mode. I don't know what that is. Okay, sorry. I guess it's just whatever. It is what it is. I guess no matches today. That's all right. Let's see. Mikey Tech says, Aloha Android, a.k.a. Tito Escobar. Mill Hustles thinks what towers do Straight Talk use. Think I'm switching over to them. Notches should be a hairstyle, yeah. I kind of agree there. And I'm still not a fan of the notches. I think it's interesting how some, I guess, phone companies are trying to kind of do away with the notch, obviously. I mean, obviously, I honestly would have preferred the camera in the corner than where it is right there in the middle. I still think that looks kind of weird on the Moto G7. But for the most part, I mean, like, I don't mind that phones have notches. I wish that companies that, or I guess phone hardware companies or companies in general, like the Pixel 3 XL, for instance, like I wish all companies that had notches gave you a way to hide the notch just in case you didn't like it. You know what I mean? Via software. So, I mean, I know some phones do it, some phones don't. For the most part, like, I prefer phones that don't have notches. So like the new Mobile G3 Plus, for instance, I really like the way that phone is, although I think that they could have pushed the screen size just a little bit bigger. I think the notches are still a little too heavy on it, but at the same time, it doesn't take away from the phone or user experience, and it really doesn't bother me. I mean, the Moto G6, for instance, last year, what bothered me was that the fingerprint sensor was still in the front and that the chin was just so big. But if you guys look at the Google Pixel 3A and the 3 XLA, I mean, the notches just seem like they've gotten bigger on those devices. Like, I don't even think that Google cares to the fact that they have those huge notches. They're just like, we don't care. We're going to give you a real badass camera on the front and the rear facing portions of the phone. So why do we care that that these phones have notches or really thick bezels? Okay. Okay, Verizon for branded Straight Talk devices. Bring your own phone kits. Have a different SIM card for each network. Okay, bezels are like speed bumps on phones. You just never know when you're going to hit one. And then I don't like thick bezels on phones. I mean, for the most part, like if you had a smartphone like 4 or 5 years ago, I mean, it didn't really bother a lot of people. It's only until like they started pushing like screen, I guess, retail space in the front, where people are like, oh yeah, okay, this looks a lot better, but to me, like I feel like the phones are a lot more prone to cracking and whatnot. And a lot of people that drop phones in the corners, people that have bezels, like let's say the phone cracks right here, you're not going to have to deal with a crack up here. You know what I mean? Let's see, what am I doing over here? I don't know what's happening. Let's test out Face Unlock, by the way, with my Google. Pretty fast, right? So we're going to test out Face Unlock. Face Unlock. What I'm really impressed is the Face Unlock, and the fingerprint sensor is super quick, by the way. Like, it's one of the fastest fingerprint sensor phones that I've actually owned. For as far as the Moto G7 goes. No Life says, are you going to watch the new Avengers Endgame? I already saw the new Avengers Endgame, if you're asking me, by the way. So I already saw it. We were talking about it a little bit earlier. Mill Hustle says we need a phone camera that shoots and records everything in landscape. That would be awesome. You know what I mean? I feel like everyone that shoots in portrait, when you're holding up, the people don't know what portrait and landscape. Okay, portrait, landscape, okay. But for the most part, if you can hold the phone up like this and it still shoot in landscape mode, that would be awesome. Okay. Exactly. So that's a good feature that I'm surprised a lot of phone companies or hardware manufacturers have not decided to do yet, which is just weird. Okay. Is that Face Unlock 3D though? I don't know, to be honest. I think it's only 2D Face Unlock, but it still works pretty quick, to be honest. So if you hit the power button, it works pretty quick. So when I was taking the picture of my phone, it just does it really quick. If I were to do it on myself here, let's see if I can do it on the. Let's see if it catches it on my computer screen. My computer screen's over here, by the way. I think you have to be looking directly at it, to be honest. But for the most part, it works great. So if you guys are wondering, like, how does the Face Unlock work on the Google Pixel, or not the Google Pixel, the Moto G7, then it works great. Okay, Mikey Tech is asking Mill Hustles, were you surprised that Sprint and T-Mobile picked up the Google Pixel lineup? And then Mill Hustle's just responding by saying, not surprised, it's a great value. It should go to prepaid carriers also, and I agree. I mean, the Pixel 3a and the 3a XL are devices that are going to hopefully change the game when it comes to having like a mid-range device, because I feel like more of these big phone companies should have mid-range devices. Or you know what? I feel like they should bring back the Nexus brand, and the Nexus brand should be like their mid-range mid-range set of devices. So they should have the Nexus and then the Pixel, right? So the Nexus obviously will be the cheaper of the two. Let's see. I know I get mixed up. The phone names are just so crazy nowadays. Let's see. Mill Hustles, yeah, you're right. They should put the Pixel 3a and the 3a XL on prepaid, and I'm sure eventually they will. I think you'll probably eventually see them on like Metro and Cricket and stuff like that. But for now, I think they just want to see how these phones do over big carriers like Sprint and T-Mobile, and if they sell, then they're going to eventually port them over to their their MNVO counterparts, which are Metro PCS, and even like the carriers like Cricket or whatever. And you never know, even Virgin Mobile, because Virgin Mobile has iPhones and whatnot. So I mean, maybe they'll eventually go back to maybe they'll eventually get a good Android device other than the Samsung Galaxy 10, which I know they have on their lineup for like $700, by the way. So if you want to spend $700 on a cheap on a Virgin phone, then go ahead and do it, right? Let's see. Did you watch MKBHD's April Fool video? I think I did. I don't remember what it was on, but I think I remember watching it, and I think it was. I think his video. He's trying to get funnier in his videos. Like if you've watched his videos over the past couple of months, he's trying to do a little more when it comes to like comedic stuff. But at the same time, I don't know. Like it's just funny. I don't know what to say. Like he doesn't. He seems like he's always serious. So I don't know if we can ever. I could ever like take him serious. You know what I mean? Mill Hustles, you have 30 subs right now, by the way, and you wonder how long it'll take to hit 14 million. I don't know. I mean, Unbox Therapy has going on for years, so who knows? I mean, a lot of these famous tech tubers, it took them a while to get big. I think one that has a few that have been really gaining traction are guys like Kevin Breeze and MTR also is already like close to hitting 30,000 subs. And who else? RJ Tech or CV Tech's above 20,000 already. And I believe TechRite, who Stefan, he has over 50K already. So he again, these guys are continuing to grow, and I'm hoping that these guys continue to get more notice. Same thing here. I mean, I hope that eventually I can get to a specific point where hopefully the earnings on my YouTube channel are a lot better than what they are right now. I mean, I definitely want to do Google. I definitely hope to eventually do Google full time one day. I think that's my goal with it. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy how lit his live streams get. I mean, I've jumped in on a couple of his live streams, and he gets a pretty good amount of views. So I mean, let's not take anything away from them. Even though he hasn't been putting out a lot of review videos as far as phones. He's really good about uploading daily when it just comes to live stream. So that's why I think he has such a pretty big following. You know what I mean? No Life Mill Hustles actually had another YouTube channel. So the one that you're talking to him on now is actually a new YouTube channel. So he ended up. Well, I don't know the whole story behind that, so I'm not gonna say anything there. But yeah, Mill Hustle, since you're here, man, what do you think about Raw and SmackDown, man? What do you think about the wild card rule now, man? I mean, I'm interested to see what happens with that, and basically like a rule of four. So basically, any week, it's really stupid, right? If you're anyone from Raw can go to SmackDown, or anyone from SmackDown can come to Raw, and I think they're only doing it because of the whole Fox merger. Because they really want guys like Roman Reigns to be on both shows, or guys like AJ Styles to be on both Raw and SmackDown. Right now, yeah, obviously their ratings are tanking, and I think they're just trying to do anything to kind of stay relevant at this point, especially in the AEW is right around the corner, and you have other big wrestling promotions like ROH, and even Impact Wrestling is continuing to gain more of a following, and of course you have New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I mean, it's just very interesting, I guess, to see what's happening there. But anyways, the new Bray Wyatt character is just awful. I think it's really stupid. I really enjoyed when he was doing the whole thing with Matt Hardy, I guess. Now that Matt Hardy's on SmackDown, I think from what I've heard, that he's just like role playing all of his gimmicks into like one character now. So I'm really not interested to see what's going on with Bray Wyatt. I mean, it's really stupid, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe he's just trolling everyone, just like Emma did for a while with all the vignettes, and then when she came back, it was just regular Emma. So, so who knows what's going to happen there? So, but guys, I guess I've been going on for an hour already. I'm going to go ahead and probably end the live stream here. Let me just see Mill Hustle's last comment here. Mill Hustle says, I strongly believe that AEW will get at least 3/4 of Raw ratings. The first AEW episode should be on Monday night to stick it to WWE. And thank you guys again for joining in on my live stream. Again, if you guys like this video, please give it a like. Please sub to me if you haven't already. I mean, again, 4 viewers. I never thought I would get like 4 or 5 viewers on a Tuesday night. So again, thank you all for continuing to follow me. Again, keep an eye out on my next video, which will be the review on the Moto G7. I might make another small video on this tonight. So just keep an eye out on videos. Mill Hustles, again, shout out to you. I am actually going to try to start posting more deal videos as well, just in honor of you, man. So I know you do a lot of the prepaid stuff. So I'm more of like an Amazon guy or something like that. So I'll try to, share anything that's on sale. Let's see. Playboy King version 2 says, my bad, I was talking to my mom. Mill Hustle says, I wouldn't be surprised if AEW's first episode gets at least 500K views. I mean, it's going to be big whenever it does happen. I hope that they do air it on a channel that I'm hearing it's going to be either on TNT or either TBS, TNT. It's going to be on one of the Turner channels. So I'll be interested to see which episode AEW first airs on. I'm hearing that they also want to do like like an app route where you pay like a specific amount of money a month and you'll get content. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Renewing their contract. Any wrestler in WWE is not renewing their contract with WWE. Is eventually jumping to AEW. Shut the F up was supposed to be in front of it, but it don't work. Okay, I don't know exactly what Playboy King version 2 is talking about there. And excuse me for not knowing. I guess I'm not all there sometimes. That company hated WCW. He said I was trolling. Quit being a troller, Playboy. If you're going to be trolling, at least send a super chat of like $10,000, and then you can troll all you want, right? Mill Hustles, by the way, I am going to make you a moderator. Let's see, okay, I'm going to add you to the moderator list. So you and CB Tech are now moderators, by the way. So if you guys are joining in, Mill Hustles is a YouTuber, and so is CV Tech. So, and eventually I will probably make Rob, aka Tito, a moderator as well. So, but again, cool for trolling, I guess, by the way. But anyways, I guess we'll see how that goes. Triple H is a director of talent relations and is trying to keep wrestlers. I mean, yeah, they're trying to get wrestlers from not leaving. They're offering even the mid to lower card guys big contracts because they don't want people to go to this other company because they don't want to lose the talent. But at the end of the day, I think they have to lose the talent because, I mean, if you think about it, people that are going to stay are either going to have to step it up or they're going to end up leaving or getting fired because of it. I think it's dumb that WWE isn't getting, firing people or letting people go as much as they used to because, I mean, if they're not gaining popularity, why hold them? Just let them go, But again, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Thanks for again chatting with me with my WWE stuff, with my phone talk stuff, and with movie and video game stuff. By the way, guys. So again, if you guys are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and sub to me. You guys are awesome. We'll see you guys next time. Y'all have a good night. And again, keep an eye out for my next videos, which will be on the Moto G7. So you guys have a great night. We'll see y'all next time.